Dear students, okay. Uh, Dear students, yesterday we had a discussion on the concept of equality from Marxist perspective, and in earlier class we had a discussion on the concept of equality from liberal perspective. Today is the last topic on equality. This last topic is about feminist perspective. How feminists view equality. As you all know, feminism is a kind of an ideology which is concerned with the lower status of women mm, vis-a-vis the status of man, and because of that lower status, how women have been suffering and how women have been suppressed. The main concern of feminism is to raise the status of women on par with men, and also to have an independent existence of woman as a human being, as a rational creature. uh, Equality, we should look at the concept of equality from the perspective of feminism. That is our today's topic. Uh, Now let us start. Nature has divided human race between men and women. Uh, the human race is divided into uh, between men and women. That is why people say women occupy the half of the sky. But their status and role in society are determined by our culture. But the status and the role of women is secondary to man. You take any culture in any country or any society, the culture of the society basically is embedded with that of the lower status of women vis-a-vis men. The nature has divided uh, the relative dominance of man and relative submissiveness of women represents almost universal cultural traits. Just now, uh, we have discussed how you take any culture. So the lower status of women has been a universal cultural trait. You take any culture from any part of the world, a woman is given lesser role or lesser importance, and she has to be submissive, and because of that lower status, she has been suffering, she has been suppressed. They are Why this kind of universal cultural trait where woman is given lower status is because of the social organization. In any culture or in any society, the social organization is based on patriarchy. Here patriarchy means rule of men. How a male is given superior position in social structure. You take family or any family affair or religious affair, you take, men are given more and important role. um, and its institutions, a division of labor in the family. If you take the basic unit of society, that is family, where there is a division of labor, how men are are bound to work outside the family, and women has to confine herself to the family and look after the children. She has to bear the children and look after the children. And whereas human being has to earn, and he has to go out, and he has to bring money that is necessary for the family. That is how there is a clear cut division of labor. That division of labor is one of the reasons for the lower position of women. And outside the family, if you take the civil society, where there is competition between men, and there is a kind of exploitative kind of situation is found everywhere in the society, because everybody tries to derive as much benefit as possible out of his economic activity, out of his dealing with the human fellow human beings outside the family. So this division of labor and the patriarchy are the reasons for the lower status of women, and which has been a universal experience throughout the world. So this is the reason for the lower position of women. Uh, Now the gender perspective, as in earlier classes, we learned the difference between sex and gender. Sex is a biological description. It shows the biological difference between man and woman. But gender shows the social and cultural difference, the social and cultural discrimination that is practiced between men and women. And the term gender is used to indicate the difference in social status of men and women. It refers to the fact that women are placed in a lower status in relation to their intrinsic worth. However, however worthful a woman is, her status from the point of view of society and culture, her status is very lower, and his intrinsic worth is never recognized. Even if intrinsic worth is displayed, that is thought to be disparaged, that is thought to be ridiculed in the society. So that is the general tendency in the society. The gender perspective will help you that the biological difference, apart from the biological difference, it is the culture and society that is responsible for the lower status of women. Even though she is capable of uh, being equal with that of men, but her intrinsic worth is looked down. That is how the gender perspective will enable you to understand the social and cultural social and cultural understanding. uh, Feminist thought, generally feminism, focuses on gender perspective that calls for cultural transformation of society. So there should be cultural transformation. There should be a change in the culture. That's the perception of the men, and also the perception of the social institutions where women is discriminated. So when you bring about change in the culture, when you transform the culture, only then gender equality is possible. And the feminism implies the right ordering of status of women in relation to men in social and political life. So that is very important. uh, the next one, after understanding in general how what is feminism, and what is gender perspective, and what is feminist perspective of equality, the concept of equality. Now let us see how the liberal feminism came into existence, and how what liberal feminism is propagating. What is it all about? The liberal feminists seek to reform the traditional family and accord women their dignity, self-respect, and independence by demanding rights of marriage, property, inheritance, and custody. So basically, the liberal feminism, it focuses on reform, incremental changes. By women should be given their dignity should be respected. They should be given self-respect. They should be given independence, and also certain property and inheritance rights. If changes are made in those in those factors, then women position can be changed, and her status can be improved upon. That is what liberal feminism believes in. The great liberal feminist uh, He was a pioneer in demanding for equal rights to women. She is Mary Wollstonecraft. She lived during 1759 to 1797. That is, her influence was during 18th century. uh, she belongs to England. She was a famous writer and a philosopher, and a great liberal feminist. Mary Wollstonecraft emphasized the equal rights of women on the basis of notion of personhood. So a woman should basically be seen as an individual, a person, not she's a woman, not like that. She's a person. She's a human being. As a human being, as a rational creature, she has got every right to demand for equality. And women are regarded as rational creatures in their own right. So, like men, woman is also a rational creature. She is capable of realizing her potential, and she is capable of contributing for the betterment of the society. And that is why she wanted equal rights for women. And another important liberal thinker of 19th century was J.S. Mill, John Stuart Mill. As you might have already learned about him in earlier classes, he was a great liberal thinker. His essay on liberty was very famous, and also he wrote a book called Subjugation of a Woman, how women has been subjected to discrimination. And he uh, the J.S. Mill sought to demonstrate that women were in no way inferior to men in their talents, and pleaded to give them full legal and political rights. So he was the first thinker who demanded equality to women, and equal political and legal rights to women. So he was a great political thinker and liberal thinker who demanded equality for women. And now this is how liberal thinkers laid emphasis on incremental changes or reform the existing social, political and economic institutions that, to better the condition of women. The socialism and Marxist feminism is a different kind of feminism, which tries to bring about total change or a revolutionary change in the social and economic organizations. When there is capitalism is the reason for exploitation of the labor and also women. So the economic atmosphere, the economic organization is such that under capitalism, which facilitates the exploitation of the laboring class and women as well. That is what socialists and Marxist feminists believe. Especially the earlier socialist thinker Charles Fourier. He lived during 1872. Sorry, here it is 1970. No, it is 1872. 1872. Sorry, 1772 to 1837. Uh, 1772 to 1837. He was a thinker, the socialist. He was one of the pioneering socialist thinkers. He argued for a version of socialism that would be based on equality between men and women. Uh, Men and women. Charles Fourier, he He argued for a version of socialism that would be based on equality between men and women. He envisaged a form of social organization in which men and women would enter into group marriages and live in small communities where all men and women would be treated as equal partners. This is a revolutionary concept where instead of having a nuclear family where men and women live under one roof, here he wants group marriages who can live in small communities, and the children that are born are looked after by all, and there would not be any inequality between men and women, because they believe that the family system and the social system, which is governed by the economic system, would foster the inequality, the fundamental inequality between men and women, and therefore they wanted a socialistic kind of economy where it would ensure the equality of men and women. Uh, and another great thinker, Frederick Engel, uh, he he provided a classic account of origin of gender inequality. He analyzed the reason for gender inequality. He argued that the origin of sexual inequality may be traced to the establishment of patrilineal descent. This is very important. Patrilineal descent, that is, the practice of tracing kinship through the line of father to son and then to grandson. This was made uh, because of the requirement to protect the private property. To ensure the protection of private property, there was a patrilineal descent. After father dies, it is the male member of the family who will inherit the property. The women are denied property rights, and because of this patrilineal descent, there has been gender inequality, there has been suppression of women. This is the reason for the lower status of women, and that is why the Frederick Engel uh, uh, that is why the socialists and Marxist feminists accept the argument of liberal feminists, but propose abolition of nuclear family along with capitalism. They believe that family and capitalism wasteful, inefficient, oppressive, and exploitative. The family because of the division of labor, uh, and the capitalism because of the profit orientation, and the wealth that is created would lead to inequality. And also capitalism, in capitalism there is huge wasteful expenditure, and it is quite oppressive. The labor is exploited, and women is also exploited. Uh, And that is why they believed, socialists and Marxists believed, with the abolition of capitalism and nuclear family, there would be equality between men and women. That is how gender equality can be achieved. And so the Marxist perspective emphasizes on total change of the social structure and economic structure, where means of production or the private property is abolished and means of production is socialized. And when there is no class difference, and when there is classless society, automatically gender equality would come. That is what socialists believe. And radical feminism, here is a radical feminism is a feminism that is for total change, that is complete reversal. Women, men are dominating now, women are being suppressed. So it's a kind of female domination. It goes beyond formal equality of gender neutral laws. What liberal thinkers propounded is that with the changes in laws like inheritance and property laws, if women are given property and also women are given political rights and equal civil rights, then her position may be improved. That is what liberal thinkers believe. But radical feminists, they think that just by making gender neutral laws, you cannot improve upon the position of women. It requires, more than laws. They are the because they believe that the gender neutral laws or the reforms that are suggested are the creation of men, and the men would never, take into account the real needs of women, the real suffering of women. They disregard the needs of women, and that is why the gender neutral laws or the reforms, that are suggested by liberal thinkers are of no use for women and to improve her position vis-a-vis the position of men. Uh, So the foundation of male domination is in the patriarchal system, and hence it becomes political and nothing is personal. So whatever, when we talk about political, uh, political means it is public. Generally, people think political is one that is public. Political is one which is concerned with, government and its three organs. That is what political, no, we perceive. That is how we perceive political, the term political. And the personal life, or the personal life or personal aspects of human beings, are beyond the purview of this, political aspect. But here, the radical feminists believe that there is nothing personal, because whatever thing that is considered to be personal is really political, where a man dominate, woman even in the family life. So there is nothing like personal, and even the personal that is considered to be personal, that is confined to family matters, even that is also political, because where inside the family or within the family there is domination of men and there is suppression of women. Therefore, what is considered to be private, what is considered to be family matter, is also political. Here, political, we should understand that, so far whatever that has been considered private is not private at all, because in the private, the man dominates, women, and women is being suppressed. And that is why the radical feminists, demand restructuring of personal, domestic, and family life. uh, Now we have learned, three trends. We have discussed three trends: liberal feminism, which emphasizes, which focuses on incremental changes or reforming or bringing in gender neutral laws. And we learned about, again later on we learned about, socialism and communism, which, which wants to bring about total change in the social and economic organization, so that a woman position can be improved. And when capitalism is abolished and private property is abolished and classless society is established, only then the real equality between men and women is possible. That is what the perception of the socialistic and communistic view of, equality. Now, we have also, discussed about radical feminism, how they want, total change, how the change should be beyond, gender neutral laws. And the difference feminism, this is a new phenomena, this is a new concept, it's a new feminism. Uh, it, uh, it, it says that the differences between women and men are ineradicable, because the physical structure the physical structure is different, that cannot be that cannot be, removed, and therefore we have to accept the physical differences between men and women, and it rejects the goal of gender equality. So generally, all these years, the feminism emphasized, or for that matter, any progressive thinking emphasized on gender equality, on the grounds that it encourages that women to be like men. So here, the different feminism says women should never be like men, because the word men you know, reflects or shows that they have been dominating, they have been suppressing the women. So women should never be like men, and because they don't want gender equality. Gender equality in the sense they should not be like men who are already been so dominating, so unethical in terms of exercising domination. And that is why they the different phenomena, different feminists argue that women should be female identified. Women should seek liberation, not as sexless persons. They are not like men. They want liberation, but as developed and fulfilled women, celebrating female values and characteristics. So here, whatever difference that women possess, those should be, those should be liberated. When you want to be like men, or when you want equality on par with men, then you are forgetting, or you are disparaging, or you are devaluing the characteristic features of women. Womanhood is a special character of human being, that womanhood should be celebrated, and her character, her sensitive character, her sensitivity, it should be celebrated, and but her rights should never be denied. Her sensibility should never be denied. Her feelings should never be disparaged, should never be hurt. So, women, knowing her special position or special role, should never feel discouraged. Should should celebrate her difference. Thus, women should gain liberation through difference. So that is what a difference feminism believes in. Now we have learned, four aspects: equality, feminist perspective. We have seen the general, gender perspective. What is gender perspective? What is the difference between gender and sex? And we have seen how male and female are positioned differently, but how women are being suppressed. A woman, woman has been given lower position, and then we have seen how the early thinkers, called as liberal thinkers, laid emphasis on reforms and incremental changes to improve the position of women, to improve the role of the woman. And then we've seen socialistic perspective of women, of equality, how they gave importance to bringing about total change, and also radical feminists, how radical feminists go beyond gender neutral laws to and bringing about transformation of culture. And also we learned about difference feminism. Difference feminism is a new feminism which celebrates the difference of women, and it's very worth learning that women should gain liberation through difference, not on par with men. So that is how these four trends have been discussed. This is a very important topic. Uh, Thank you very much.